Okay, welcome back. We're doing in this video the 2009 question 9. It's the cash and production budgeting question, and it's going to be part B. Prepare a materials purchases budget in units and euros for the 4 months January to April 2010. Now, just like the first part, even though we only need January to April, I've put in a column for May because we need a little bit of May's here as well in order to do the rest of the calculations for our other months. So, our title, material purchases budget, we have our 5 columns, only getting marked for 4 of them because that's all we were asked for. And our first item is going to be budgeted production. So if we want to know the materials that we're going to purchase or that we need to purchase, we have to start with what are we going to manufacture or how much are we going to manufacture, because that will determine how much materials we'll need for that manufacturing. So the first thing we do is we take this budgeted production from the last part and we write it down exactly as it is: 13.1, 9.4, 10.6, 11.3, and 10.9. The next thing then after that is, if we look to the question, it says that the product requires 4 kilograms of whatever material it's made of, which costs that. But forgetting about the cost for the moment, it requires 4 kilograms of material for each unit to be made. So what we do first of all here is we put down our materials per unit. Material per unit will be fine. And we multiply, if this is a number of units and each of them takes 4 kilograms of material, we multiply them each by 4. I'm going to pause for a second and fill in what those multiplications are. Okay, so I filled in those totals there and I just called it required for production. That's the materials that we require to produce this number of units each month. Okay, the next thing then we're going to put in is the just like above. Well, we don't need all that material if we already have opening stock, and we actually need more than that amount of material if we want to maintain some kind of closing stock in our warehouse. So again, if we want a closing stock, the first thing we're going to do is add on closing stock. So we need this amount in total to manufacture exactly that amount, but we might want some materials left over at the end of the year, so we might want a bit more than this. So we're going to add on the amount that we want left over at the end of the year. Now, in order to find out how much we've left over, we go back to the question and it says stocks of raw materials sufficient for 10% of the following month's requirements in kgs are held at the end of each month. So in January, our closing stock is going to be 10% of what we need for the following month, which is February. So it's going to be 10% of this 37,600. So 10% of 37,600 is 3,760. Okay, multiply this by 0.1 or multiply by 10% and this is what you get. Same for here, 4,240 is 10% of this. 10% of this is 4,520. 10% of this is 4,360. And now you see why we needed a May column, because we needed this figure in order to calculate this. We don't need to finish off any of the rest of May, so we'll leave that blank for the rest of it and we'll just concentrate on the 4 months that we were asked to produce. So that's it. We add the closing stock on. Again, I'm going to pause while I add those. So again, that's those totals. And now, just like above, if we already have some opening stock or some materials in our warehouse at the start of the year, well then we don't need to purchase all this amount to do our manufacturing and to have that much closing stock. We need to purchase less than that. Now, since again it's a new business, there won't be any opening stock of materials at the start of January. However, the opening stock at the start of February will be whatever we have left over at the end of January. In other words, it'll be the closing stock from January. So 3,760 down here, 4,240 down here, 4,520 down here. And since we're subtracting, again, I'm going to put brackets around each of these. And I'm going to pause to total them again. Okay, so that's those finished. And what those numbers represent is what you'll need to purchase in units, and our unit is kilograms, because we see from the question it's kilograms of material we're talking about. So that's the first part of it done, the materials purchase budget in units. Now, the last part in euros is just to take our units and work out what the cost of those would be in euros. So quite simply, all we do is we see up here in the question, it says that each kilogram costs €1.50. So if you want to purchase 56,160 kilograms in January, then you're going to multiply by the purchase price, 150 or 1.5 will do. To find out what the total cost of your purchases will be. So this is the price per kg. And again, now I'm just going to pause to calculate those. And so there we have it. That's all those totals. And I've labeled that purchases in euros. So it's going to cost you 84,240 euros to purchase all of those kilograms of material.